advantage of the fact that they changed their bans up there, and they're saying, okay, if we don't get Morgana, we're going to at least get our pick Gnar for the Elite Troll in top lane. So very good call there to make sure that they get a strong pick for their top lanes. They have been picking top lanes first pretty much the entire series, and I think it's worth it because the Elite Troll is one of their strongest members.
Yeah, and Gnar right now is, in my opinion, I know I'm just a lowly caster, but in my opinion, he's one of the most overlooked and wonderfully powerful champions in the game. He's got such a huge array of different ways that he can play the game. He can be full tank, he can be full damage, he can be anywhere in between along the spectrum, so it's a very powerful pickup right there.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see again the Lee Sin being locked in first pick after they ban the Rammus and Kha'Zix, again trying to force Shiny Mew onto his pick Riven, which seems to be the common pick for him in every game. And it looks like Ziani might actually be finally allowed to play the pick that he wants to. He loves to play Orianna. It is his most played champion in rank, so he's going to be very happy on that pick there, and they pick up the Lucian again for Pieman. Or not the Lucian again, but Lucian for Pieman, rather.
And the combo of Orianna and Gnar can be very powerful. Knocking a bunch of people up against a wall makes it very easy to place the ball correctly so you can land that shockwave. So if you can get that wombo combo AoE damage, they've already got a pretty decent teamfight comp over on the side of Static.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they seem to be hovering over the Ahri here. I'm sure that Teemo was a bit of a troll pick for them there. The Graves would be a much better pickup for them, and but I have seen Saskio play Graves before. He's picked it in solo queue, well, not solo queue, but the ranked 5s queue rather, a bunch before. It is a common kind of up-and-coming AD carry pick, so it's going to be a really strong pick there for Saskio to deal with that the Lucian on the other side there from Pieman. They're both going to have very strong early burst and decent mobility, but they're going to stay with their common pick Corki there and keep things with the Lucian Corki trend.
It's a curse. As soon as you begin speaking about a pick, they hover over to something else and then lock in the Twitch at the last second.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry, I was just going to say...
to see the Ahri pick up here, though.
No, yeah, definitely. Zephyr actually, Ahri is one of his most played champions, so he should be pretty darn strong on that. I was just going to say, I'm really glad that Saskio locked in that Twitch again, because like we were saying, Saskio on Twitch was the MVP of that last game, so it's a great pickup for them. And it looks like we have, it looks like we have the Nami hover rather, as well as the J4 possibly for Shiny Mew, which I would rather see Shiny Mew at this point on a champion like J4. He can play him totally fine, and it's a little bit more versatile than something like a Riven, which we've kind of talked about before in the Champ Selects.
And both of these hover-overs right now would contribute heavily to the AoE wombo combo which Gnar and Orianna already set up. The tidal wave coming across, and of course Cataclysm even gives Gnar a wall to knock people into, so it's a very powerful few set of picks right there.
Yeah, absolutely. They should have a lot of teamfight potential by putting the ball on that J4 there. Even Gnar, really, too, as they can go in there. If they can time with the Mega Gnar, and they can jump in there together with the ball on top. Nami can even throw a wave, and Lucian can back up with a bunch of that AoE damage as Q can shred through everybody. So they seem like they have a lot of pick potential on Seems Legit Gaming and a lot of teamfight potential on Action Static.
Yeah, and we're going to get to see the last pick coming out here from Seems Legit Gaming in a few moments. It's going to be the top lane pick, and I'm actually not entirely sure what we're going to be seeing coming out from Kobe here. It might be an Aurelia. That's been fairly popular, and Maokai wouldn't be terrible either.
I was going to say we probably see either an Aurelia, maybe a Maokai. He does play Rumble as well. He plays Nidalee too. But I think that the Aurelia is probably a strong pick for him right now. It is one of his better champions. He made some amazing plays on Rumble before, but I think Aurelia would probably help with this team comp a little bit more, I think, to create a little bit more tankiness than that Rumble would, because the only ones they have right now are Lee Sin once he starts to build tank after the damage, and Thresh once he gets enough money to actually start buying items that are tanky.
And yeah, I agree with you that the Aurelia does fit fairly well into the team comp that they've put together for themselves. However, for laning phase, I actually want to throw that over in the direction of Gnar. Gnar has a fairly interesting laning phase. His level 1 is weak, but his level 2 is strong, and his level 3 is comparatively weak again, and he keeps hopping around from points of strength to weakness, but the fact that he's going to be ranged, at least most of the time, against Aurelia does mean that he'll at least have that advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if it was worth it to switch out with that Gnar versus the Morgana there. We'll see if it was worth it, and if the Morgana was doing more damage, or this Gnar from Elite Troll is going to be doing more damage. Like you said, I really think that the Gnar is going to be extremely strong and he's going to maybe possibly dominate lane phase and then turn that into a dominating in team phase there, because his team is so strong in those team fights. I'm really looking forward to seeing Action Static grouping up, because their team fights are actually really strong. So I'm glad that they're finally playing a comp that really is that like centric team fight comp. I'm glad we get to see Ziani on his Orianna, which he's played since the beginning of time, so he's going to be extremely comfortable on that and probably be landing some good ults. But Zeph and Essence is extremely comfortable on Ahri as well, and they have a very high mobility team there, which can actually do a lot of surprise damage, tons of pick potential with the Thresh Hook, the Twitch, you've got the Ahri Charm, you've got the Lee Sin to go in, and even Aurelia can catch people out too, so they've got tons of kind of one target jump on you and burst you and kill you down if you catch somebody out, which they could easily do on many of these champions.
Yeah, and while you said that Saskia picking up the Twitch, he did do amazingly well in it last game. I'm not trying to deride his performance at all on that champion, but perhaps it wasn't the best pickup for this particular game, because Twitch, as we know, is not very mobile, and there are a lot of ways that Static can get in onto that Twitch and really ruin his day. So it's going to be a very dangerous game of, well, if only they were in Italy in this game, then it could be quite literally cat and mouse, but it's more like a game of Yordle and mouse right now.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if Saskio can actually make this high-risk, high-reward pick work out, because if he can position properly in team fights, this Twitch can really kind of put up a stand against the AoE Wombo combo of Action Static here. But if he doesn't position properly, he can easily just die right away, and it could be really dangerous. All right, we're gonna hop into some ads here real quick before we jump into the game. So thank you guys very much for watching. This is therandomcs.com. We are sponsored by DingIt.tv. Static tries to get some sort of a little bit of an invade, and there's a pause again. I know that Shiny Mew has been having a little bit of they get invade on the red.
Blue buff, so we have the junglers mirroring each other in terms of map movement, but not in terms of buff color.
Yeah, they're going to stick to the bottom side of the map to make sure they get that really solid leash from both their bot lane people. If they were on the top side, they'd probably still have their mid laners go to mid lane and would have to rely on the top laners to leash. So they're going to let their top laners go to lane and have the bot lane do that double leash for them and then head to their own lane respectively. So they should be on the top side of the map around 3 minutes. So we'll see if they try and make some plays on the top side of the map here.
Yeah, and checking into Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe getting some early trade damage there. Both, like we keep saying every game, the Leet Troll and Kobe are both, they're not passive top laners. They really like to go for it and try and get kills solo in lane. So it's not going to be one of those island of farming top lanes. These guys are going to be going back and forth at each other's throats the entire game like we've seen in the first 2 games this series.
And actually, that was not really a very flashy moment there, but that was a very important moment right there when Leet Troll actually dropped his boomerang as Gnar, and immediately realizing that was a huge deal, Kobe dove right in with his Q and got a great trade-off, because Gnar, without his boomerang, with his boomerang on that really long of a cooldown, doesn't have any ability to fight back.
Oh no, King Sasori flashing in, missing his hook and missing his flay. Whoa, still some damage from Saskio though, so even though King Sasori burned his flash there, it was still a good trade because they hit level 2 first. But I really would have liked to see King Sasori flash flay instead of flash hook, because after you land the flay, it's much easier to land that hook because your opponent is slowed. Here comes J4 up into the top lane. Let's see if Shiny Mew can make a play on Aurelia. J4 has really strong early ganks, and he's got that double buff. Aurelia has no escape, really.
Yeah, Aurelia's kind of pushed up, though. Nar's been doing a pretty good job of tossing that boomerang out and getting the minions killed fairly quickly, but we do have the gank coming in just as a hook lands on Gorge in the bottom lane. The bubble followed up. Saskio is taking tower damage. The heal popped for flashes going from both AD carries here. Pieman now trying to chase after Sasori, but doesn't manage to bring him down.
Wow, yeah, and Aurelia takes some damage, but is safe in top lane as well, so actually a ton of fighting. And there's the engage from Shiny Me with the EQ combo. Sarathi is forced to back off on Lee Sin. He double used to Kobe on Aurelia over there. Orianna was going to try and follow up, but she decides to just back off because she can get there in time. But in the bot lane, like he was saying, great bubble from Gorge after he actually, well, actually before he got hooked rather, because he got hooked under turret there, and then the bubble landed under turret for Saskio, and they were able to kind of trade there, and Saskio almost went down, but here is the large invade. The Leet Troll kind of go in. Shiny Mew actually EQs away back to his teammate, and there's the flash from Kobe to get the stun on Leet Troll. Leet Troll flashes over to Ziani, and he actually flashes into 3 people. They're so deep in their own team, actually. Oh my goodness. Oh no, that's 2v2, but the Shiny Mew gets escaped with the flash over the wall. Ziani is doing a lot of auto attack damage. Shiny Mew is trying to kite back to his team, but he's going to go down with the combos from Sarathi. Sarathi goes down to Easyani though, and there's the double buff mid laners training damage. Easyani has way less health, but he's got that ball combo. If he can dodge the skill shots of Zeph and Essence, this is quite a battle right here. Let's see if Easyani can do it. Great job with the ball. He has just enough. And I don't see anymore. Oh my goodness, there's the flash. He hits him with the front end of the Q, but not the back end. And what a trade. There's the teleport, though. Orianna has to get out of here as fast as she possibly can. There's no boots on Aurelia, though, so she shouldn't be able to catch up. Wow. What a trade from both mid laners here. See if anything happens, actually, as they go back to mid lane here. They both have double buffs, and they're both extremely low on health. There's no flash on Zeph and Essence, but Annie, rather, has to still splash up still, so he can avoid that Kobe gank if Kobe really tried to dive in there. Avoids the charm. Great play by both sides here, staying alive.
Yeah, and that leaves both mid laners rather low on health, but with double buffs, so that's going to last them a little while, and they're both going to be perfectly happy with that. I'm not. Neither team, again, really coming out with a solid, decisive lead after that.
Yeah, these teams are really just trading blows back and forth every single game. There's no clear, decisive lead in any of these games, really. There's the Q follow-up from Sarathi. He's trying to 1v1 Shining Mew here, which he should have a better advantage of, because both bot lanes are following up. Shining Mew goes right through with the EQ combo down to his bot lane. Team is going to try and get away from Seskori. Oh my god, Easyani has both that double buff, and Ahri is coming back from base, but she's not going to be able to get there in time. And I don't know if they're going to have to be enough follow-up from this. Here comes Ahri from base. They need to be very careful, and they decide to just back out. Good call to just stay safe, but really ballsy EQ and a smart play by Shining Mew. These EQs have been so intelligent this game to make sure he kind of does it like almost counterintuitive. Sometimes he does it like towards the wrong place, but he knows that his team is there, so it's actually the best place to do it in that situation. So really good calls from the EQs from Shining Mew, whether offensive or defensive, and really good play from both teams here to be fighting, but no one's really dying. It's only 2-2 right now, even though there's been tons of fights across the map.
Yeah, and this top lane has actually been going very interestingly as well. It's not been quite as action-packed as the rest of the map, but Gnar's been doing quite a good job of pushing it up under the tower, and he's built into that chain vest really early, so it looks like he's going for a fairly tanky Gnar build, at least early on in the game, which I can certainly see the merit of with his current team comp. There's quite a bit of damage in the rest of his comp as well, but we have a gank coming from Sarath.
Lee Sin ward hopping over. He's going to try and land that Q on the lead troll, but lead troll dodges nicely. Ahri might go for the turret dive, though. She is level 6. Let's see what she does in her turret. There she goes. Gets it and gets out. Wow. Great play from Zeph and Essence there to know that he was level 6, had his ultimate, and Ahri is a great roamer because of the movement from her level 6, and they might be trying to make a play for Dragon here. They're just being pinged out by Action Static. Or, no, sorry, not Action Static, but Seems Legit Gaming, rather. They're pinging it out to try and let them know that Action Static is doing it, and they're going to try and stop it here because they do have their jungler up. And the teleport is actually being used by the lead troll to get back to top lane. Aurelia does not have her teleport, but she is walking down the map, but this is going to be a 4v4, it looks like, until Aurelia gets there. Whoa, great damage. Everybody has a Twitch dot on him, but it looks like King Sasori is going to go down. There's the EQ from Shining Mew. Here comes from the back line, and it looks like Saskia is 1v3. They're kind of split up right here. I really would have loved to see Seems Legit stick together more, and Gorge is probably going to go down on Nami if Sarath can land his Q here. Great little damage from Iziani, and he actually has to back out. And Aurelia is stuck in mid lane because they didn't have enough time for her to roam down. She didn't have her teleport up, and so they delayed the dragon. They didn't get the dragon, but they got the kill on Saskio on Twitch, and they really didn't trade anything for it.
Though, to be fair, they're still not exactly ahead in terms of gold, not by any really impactful amount. They're only ahead by 200, maybe 300 gold at the most here. So, still, I expect to see another explosive dragon fight going on sometime within the next few minutes, because they certainly haven't forgotten about that objective.
Yeah, exactly. These teams just keep grouping up and fighting, and then trading even, basically, and then backing off, and then grouping up and fighting, and basically trading even. Even if one team is 1 kill or so ahead, it's not enough of a gold advantage to really call it a win. It's pretty even, like you keep saying, in all of these fights. The transfer of the blue buff going to Orianna here, hopefully. Let's see. Shining Mew is known for taking his own blue buff, so let's see. Orianna takes it with the W, and Shining Mew did have his smite, so that was a nice little communication to take it off there. Shining Mew is definitely one of those junglers, and I can say I'm guilty of that as well, as being one of those junglers where, like, you know what, you might die, I'm just going to take it myself, I trust me more than I trust you, kind of thing. So nice bit of teamwork to give it to Orianna there. She's going to be able to spam her ball pretty aggressively, which is very nice to be able to do as an Orianna.
There's
the charm hits.
Coming out. Lots of damage coming up from Leet Troll in the top lane, bringing Kobe down pretty well. He actually was on the lower end of the health bar spectrum at the beginning of that fight, but he got the Gnar transformation in the very middle of the fight and got back a ton of his hit points. And that's one of the interesting things about building a chain vest so early on Gnar, because he gets for free some bonus health. He doesn't need to build health as early in his build if he manages his transformations correctly.
Yeah, absolutely, and unfortunately, looks like Sarathi on Lee Sin actually took the long way around. I really would have liked to see him just run through that ward. Oh my goodness, there's the flash Q. and unfortunately, the Elite Troll dodges it, so that's going to be a wasted flash for Sarathi there, and they're going to take this free dragon because they see a flash burned Lee Sin in top lane. We've got the pods again. It looks like King Sasori is having lag problems, and like I said though, they're going to take
damage contribute.
Something curious about that, it's really kind of like a delay.
Twitch has built into another build for
Going to go get golems. They're going to give up that dragon for free. Ahri's going to try and go down and do something, but they kind of just know it's been taken, and it looks like they might actually be trying to make a turret dive on bot lane there. We'll see what they do, or if they're just going to get some deep wards on the blue buff.
Some deep vision would certainly be helpful for them, as Elite Troll's getting pushed back under his tower by Kobe here. We might see a bit of a dive.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to do both, actually. Pieman is letting them push up the lane a little bit, and Shiny Mew is stealing a Wraith there, or a White, rather. And it looks like they might be coming down to do a turret dive here. We'll see if Pieman pushes the lane. Nope, it looks like Shiny Mew is going to turn around and try and make a play on Ahri here. We'll see if Easyani can get Zephyr to pop the ultimate. Once the ultimate is popped, once the 3 charges run out, then the Cataclysm from Jarvan will be effective and force Zephyr to burn the flash. But before that, he can really just press R and just fly around that mid lane there and make Jarvan kind of useless. Yeah,
though, to be fair, Jarvan does have some usefulness against the other carry, but we have a gank for this.
Yeah, great little flash lantern in there, and it looks like Sarath's going. There's the teleport too from Aurelia from base, and there's the hook on Gorge as well. Gorge has to flash out there. Shiny Mew is going to go down here. Whoa, he EQs throw. He's going to get a kill on Thresh. Whoa, what a play. Oh my goodness. Saskia almost goes down. What a ballsy play by Shiny Mew. He is the man, just going straight through there and picking up a kill before he goes down 1v4. So let's see if his team can kind of turn this around. Ziani on Orianna is coming down, but he's just going to play it safe here. And it looks like they're just going to clear those wards and back out and be happy with the fact that they got the kill on the jungler there. And it's still, kills are 5-5. The gold is only, what, 400 apart? This is still, the game is always just wide open in the air.
Yeah, making the best of a bad situation there from Shiny Mew. He realized he had absolutely no way out of that with his EQ combo, so he decided to use it aggressively instead of attempting to make a doomed-to-fail escape, and he managed to pick up a kill just before he went down.
Yeah, very smart play, and it looks like we've got Meganar in the top lane. Well, it just turned. It looks like almost he turned into Meganar because he killed the turret that pleased him so much. Became giant. Oh my goodness, huge damage on Ziani right there. And it looks like Zephyr is actually forced to ult away, though, because Ziani rather, is trading damage back really strong with his Orianna there. The Ignite was burned, and Ziani didn't have to use his barrier at all, actually. So Zephyr using the ultimate and a summoner spell for really nothing on Ziani right there. Really interesting.
Some very well done sidestepping there. He managed to dodge the charm and then dodge the subsequent Orb of Deception. So, really, if Ahri can't lend her skill shots, she's really not quite as useful as she could be. So, well done by Izazia to dodge away from those in the middle lane.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the Sheen being picked up first. It looks like before the Phage for Aurelia there, so she's trying to get that little bit of a mini spike from that Sheen right there. But Pieman is probably going to be taking down this turret. Let's see how much health actually. No, it looks like Saskia is going to try and defend it with his invisible. He gets the attack speed, of course, when he pops up Invis there to try and defend that turret and clear the waves. Lee Sin coming down to bot lane, but it looks like Jarfan's following him up, and it's going to clear that ward with Pink in the little island rush. We'll see if Ahri tries to make a play on him while he's trying to clear that ward. Nope, she just wards herself and backs off.
Yeah, thinks a little bit better of it, since Shiny Mew is actually fairly dangerous in terms of damage. He's got the pieces of Axe Drinker, and he's got a lot of armor shred with his Q.
Yeah, there's Zephyr forced to flash away. Good job landing the charm, but even with the charm and the flash, he just barely escapes with his life. Good job by Ziani throwing a ward over the wall to get vision. He's going to transfer the blue buff over to Zephyr, though, and try and keep him alive in mid lane, because Ziani is actually, for the first time in this series, keeping up in farm with the enemy mid laner. Zephyr has played Vladimir both games, and he's been ahead in farm by a lot in the mid lane each time, except this game, he's actually tied with Ziani.
Yeah, and we've seen how powerful Ziani can be even behind in farm, so having him be ahead is just rather scary. But up in top lane, Troll has finished off his Sunfire Cape, and so he's going in for this fight. He does not care at all.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of that spike. Whoa, turns into Meganar, slams him into the wall there. Is he going to be... Oh, just misses it. Oh, no, just misses the rock as well, and Ahri's going to try and come out. She does have the ultimate to try and gap close as well. Let's see if the Elite Control is going to engage this. Here comes Ahri. Let's see if he can get a kill. No, he gets charmed, and down Gnar goes. So great job to bait in, but it looks like Zephyr might go down here. He's going to try and save his last charge. The ult to go over the wall. Is he going to go get the Lee Sin? Lee Sin's going to jump over. Oh my god, just barely gets it. Lee Sin uses his W to get a bit of shield, and oh my goodness, King Sasori might go down. There's the Nami ult. Gets the flay, but King Sasori is probably going to go down here to Lucian. The hook lands, but it's too late, and he goes down. So great play from both sides here to pick up the kill on Gnar, pick up the kill on Thresh, and they're going to try and push down mid. Action Static might get a mid turret out of this.
Yeah, this will be the second turret of the game for them if they can managed to bring it down and really... Ooh, there is a very nice shockwave pulling in two members of the enemy team. 2 kills for them right there. Ziani is on a killing spree out of laning phase. This is looking much better for Ziani than the usual mid lane.
And this is what he keeps telling me. He's like, my team doesn't want me to play Orianna, but I'm telling them. They force me on Jace every game, but I'm telling them, see, Orianna is my champion. And he's showing it here. Great CS, 303, huge ultimate, but they need to back out right now because the Twitch is trying to pop his stuff, and they don't have that Ori ultimate on anymore. So they need to just back out of here, just accept that they have the lead now by about 2.5k gold, roughly. And then Dragon is up in about 45 seconds. They need to go back to base, spend their gold, and then set up around Dragon. They're probably going to be transferring the blue buff onto Orianna here. So very good job by Action Static there. I liked what Saskia was doing though, because he pushed a wave in the bot lane and then went mid because he knew he wasn't able to get mid in time to really help that much. So he decided to push the wave, get it to crash into bot lane. But it looks like PieMan saw that and is going to try and get there and get the farm before it all dies to the turret there. So good job on both sides of that actually.
Though while there is a good lead on the side of Action Static, we shouldn't discount SLG. Their Aurelia did just hit a power spike, just picked up that Trinity Force, so that's going to be a huge deal for them, as did Ahri picking up that Deathfire Grasp. So that's 2 very big items, both completed at around the same time, which is going to mean that for the next few minutes, they're going to have actually quite good pick potential. And those next few minutes are about when a dragon fight's about to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Aurelia's going to shove a wave into the top, maybe try and kill the top turret and then teleport in. We'll see what she decides to do here. They're trying to contest Dragon. It could, like you said, there's a very big power spike with that Ahri picking up the DFG as well as the Triforce. But if you see Lucian, he's actually picked up the BF sword where actually... Oh, Twitch has actually picked up the Brutalizer. It's a great call by Twitch to pick up the Brutalizer to kind of force a little bit of an item spike here. And Aurelia is not teleporting yet. They're delaying this as long as possible, but the Dragon might just go down for free. There's the teleport from Aurelia. And the Dragon goes down, J4 gets it. Easyoni is actually caught in the middle there, and he's okay, he has to flash out. Oh no, there's the Aurelia in the back, is he going to survive? Yes, they kite back just enough. Oh my goodness, the lead troll goes down in the front, great job killing the Gnar. Saskia kites back, so does Zephynescence, but they need to get out of here right now. I unfortunately lost this fight, 2-1 in kills. Let's hopefully see if they can get out of here before the invisibility by Twitch. But Ahri is just running for her life right now. There's the hook under turret on Shiny Mule. See if they can get any damage here. No, Saskia gets bubbled. Are they going to be able to kill him in time? Oh my goodness, Lucian gets the damage. He dashes into turret. Shiny Mule's taking it the whole time. PieMan turret dives, picks up a red buff. Wow. And it turns into a 3-for-1 for Action Static. So Action Static pulling a little bit far ahead. But these fights are so close and so even. It's really anybody's game each time they clash.
And meanwhile, Ziani had peeled off from the rest of his team and had gone to push out that middle lane. He got the secondary turret there, so making up that turn to the top. Lee Sin gets the shutdown.
And is Lee going to get away by flashing? What a great play by Sarathi to go in on Ziani, and Ziani picks up the first death of the game, gets shut down. Oh no, Gorge is trying to 1v1 here against Zephynescence, but Zephynescence has no mana. Is he going to be able to get out before he dies? His team is not there to help him. This poor fish is just flailing. She's speeding herself up though with the passive, but she might get caught out here by Lee if Lee lands the Q. There's the bubble. Oh my goodness, Lee dodges it, but there's the hook. Great job by King Sasori, and they pick up Gorge for the kill. Great job by Seems Legit Gaming to claw themselves back in the game right now, and they've got 20 seconds. Wow, Shiny Me trying to back. There's the ultimate Aurelia to stop the back, and she's really doing a lot of damage right now. But Gnar's in the top lane. He's coming down in the mid, and he's going to try and possibly defend the mid turret. While they have that Nami dead for 10 seconds, they might try and push it down and get a mid turret themselves.
Yeah, they can make very short work of these minions. They're not really much of a barrier between them and the turret. However, Gnar might be a bit more of one, as will this Orianna, who does have Shockwave back up at this point. The Gnar-Orianna combo could be quite terrifying as Kobe face checks his into Elite Troll, takes the Lantern away to safely though.
Yeah, as far as champions you'd want to pick in a 2v4, Gnar-Orianna is not a very bad combo at all. Ahri in the top lane picking up some CS for herself, trying to catch up to Ziani there, because actually Zephynescence is so used to being ahead in CS at this point, and actually is not, so it's a little bit tricky, but both mid laners are doing phenomenally well at 316, 313, really in a charge of their team right now, but Shiny Mew doing a fantastic job on Jace at 525 as well, and the bot lane of Action Static keeping it safe there. They are tied in CS though, so good job of Twitch to keep it tied there, but unfortunately Lucian has finished his Infinity Edge, where Twitch has kind of split right there, and he's got that Brutalizer, the Avarice Blade, and a Pickaxe, which is not the same power spike as an Infinity Edge.
Yeah, the fully completed Infinity Edge, along with a little bit of crit chance from his own Avarice Blades, going to be doing a lot more work. And there's the hook lining up the Elite Troll. He's forced to hop out of the fight as the Nami wave is burned entirely defensively.
Yeah, they burn a bunch of ultimates there actually, and then take down the turret as well. They're kind of trying to force this advantage they have right now. They got about a 4K gold lead, a little bit more, and they're really trying to force the fact that they have an Orianna with a blue buff. They just keep spamming that ball forward and trying to poke out anyone who comes close to them. They need to be careful to not get counter engaged when they do try and turret dive here like that, getting hooked. Ziani gets caught out, and there it is. There's the engagement. Jarvan just dunks everybody. They are fighting under turret. Gorgeous taking the turret. Nami goes down, gets the great bubble onto Twitch in the back. Triple kill for Gnar. Wow, I can't believe they actually got a 2 for 3 out of that, or a 3 for 2 out of that rather, because they were really out of position. Action static, that is. They got caught under turret there. Ziani, a huge amount of their DPS, especially the AoE teamfight DPS, and Orianna just gets caught right away by a great hook from King Sasori. So a 3 for 2 trade. So not exactly what Seems Legit Gaming wanted, but still really good to get themselves back a little bit in gold here and kind of show that, hey, you can't break this turret or this inhibitor wall we have.
Critically, Orianna did manage to land a shockwave just before going down, so that was a good amount of burn.
Bitch, no he didn't! He pressed it, the visual started, and then it didn't finish, you dumbass. Didn't do no damage, no knockup, no nothing, you dumb.
Even though he could have landed a lot more had he not been hit by the hook, it was still enough that Elite Troll was able to follow up on that and get the triple kill on Gnar, going from being 0-5 to 3-5, and just showing us exactly how powerful a tank Gnar can be, even when coming from behind in lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Gnar was extremely strong in that, and he came back from that with 3 kills. So like you said, he's picking up that Spectre's Cowl right there, which is going to be very strong. J4 working towards his Randuin's, or possibly a Sunfire, but my guess is a Randuin's. And we have Orianna leading towards her Death Cap there, which is going to make her very strong. I don't know how much gold does Twitch have here. We see him swap.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, 2K gold. So Twitch needs to spend that money. He needs to pick up that red buff and then go back to base and spend that money so he can be all right there. Zephynescence has to pop the ult to stay alive there.
Shockwave nearly landing onto Ahri, managed to Spirit Rush out of it just in time to keep himself alive.
And Kobe's out of position right now. Let's see if they can try and catch him out. EQ combo from Shiny Mew. There's the hop over the wall from Elite Troll. There's the ward. Do they see him or not? They know where he is right now, and here comes Pieman, try and come down. There's the W to spot him out, and they're going to try and collapse on this. Let's see if Seems Legit Gaming. Whoa, there's the Lantern, and they get him out. There's the Nami wave.
Wave doing nothing.
Wow, great little play from King Sasori to get out to Sarathi when he was out of position. Oh my god, there's a Cataclysm, the Flash Cataclysm from J4. Shiny Mew's going ham right now. Tries to catch the team. They get Aurelia down. There's the J4, or the Lucian ult. Sasori walks right into the enemy team. He's just going to sacrifice himself. But Pieman says, I don't even want to touch you, Thresh. My team can take care of that. I'm going after the AD carry. And they get this. They might turn this into an ace right now. Wow, insane. What a great engage from Shiny Mew, and it's an ace here, and they're going to have Elite Troll tank this turret, and they're going to take it down, and it's going to be a free inhib right now. Really insane play from Action Static there to turn what actually was basically wasted time, because Sarathi took a great Lantern from King Sasori and kept himself alive. They turned it into an inhibitor for them and an ace.
Yeah, and even though Shiny Mew only managed to effectively lock up Kobe within that Cataclysm, he burned 3 flashes by using it right when he did. So that, I would certainly call that worth it. Casting the Jarvan ulti in trade for 3 enemy flashes is a worthy trade, as they're going to hop on over down to the Dragon Pit and take that one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job to know that was the perfect time to engage from Shiny Mew right there. And they really took advantage of that. So now let's see what Seems Legit Gaming can take while Action Static is all back, and see if they can grab like a mid turret. But it looks like Orianna is going to go to defend really quickly.
And while we've been singing the praises of this AoE wombo combo stuff that Ziani and Gnar have been able to pull off, as well as the amazing plays that Ziani has been doing this game as compared to some of the other games where he didn't quite do as well in the early game, this sort of silent carry that's been happening in the background is the 5-0 and 10 Lucian that we haven't talked about very much, but has an Infinity Edge of Yumus and a BF on top of that, so he's doing quite a bit of work here, and we see him dashing forward into King Sasori.
Yeah, King Sasori sprint the flash. Ziani actually jumps in and actually only gets one person with his ult. A little bit of a botched ult, but King Sasori is going to go down on Thresh. I'm going to try and turn this into something here. Twitch has to back from bot lane, and it looks like Lee is getting chased by the Elite Troll again here. But exactly like you were talking about, it's really strong play from Pieman on Lucian, who's been playing Corki for most of this tournament. Oh, there's the Cataclysm on Kobe. Kobe has no way to get out of here, and Shiny Mew is just standing still there as he's stunned. Here comes the team to back up. Kobe goes down again, and they might turn this into a turret or possibly Baron. Let's see what they decide to do off of this. They have 2 people dead. Thresh just respawned. They've got 30 seconds on Aurelia. Here's the Baron start.
Yeah, Lee Sin is rushing through the jungle trying to get there in time to steal this, so there is the possibility that could very well happen, but it's a bit of a long shot. Certainly worth going for, but...
Let's see if he jumps to that ward. He does.
He does,
and he gets it! He gets the smite and flashes out. Oh my goodness, no! And there goes pieman jumping over the wall, and they're going to try and take as many Baron buffs as they can. But there's the Lantern, and Zephyrus gets out! Oh my goodness, what a play from Seems Legit Gaming. They only lost 1 person for that.
They give up the singular death of Lee Sin as Pieman attempts to dash over the wall and gives up. That was a little silly. Sorry, I was talking about how unlikely that was, and about to say that it's probably not going to happen literally as it happened, so I guess I can't really call things anymore.
Well, the problem is Lee Sin's execute combo along with his smite is so strong. They really needed to coordinate better as a team there. They didn't stop DPS and kill the Lee Sin. Once they saw the ward go over there, they should have been very careful about that and kind of planned a team bursted execute of Baron instead of just relying on Shiny Mew to smite. Because when you have a full team like that, especially against an enemy Lee Sin jungle, you can't just rely on smite and your own damage. You have to work with the team to do a team communicated execute of that objective to make sure you get that last hit, which unfortunately they did not do. And Serath was able to steal it on Lee Sin, and he only had to give up his life for it, which is extremely worth it.
And I mean that's gonna hold the game here for SLG, because they were rapidly losing ground before, as evidenced by the fact that Baron buff was being started off by Static. So just getting that buff, even though they don't have it on all 5 members, they have it on 4, is going to be enough to hold off some team fights. Probably make it so that Static doesn't really want to fight them until it's gone, and that's going to mean more time bought for the Twitch to farm, more opportunities for them to get vision back, for them to try and make a pick happen with their Ahri. Just more time in the game, because when the game ends, you can't try and come back anymore, so you just have to stall it out as much as you can.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. They do have the Baron buff, so this is going to really help them out. They actually see the Nami up there, so they might know that this is going to be a try and pick attempt here, but they actually decided to just take the red buff and back off and be safe. They were trying to Fnatic them in the bush there. Ward over the wall from Lee Sin. Very smart to make sure you have some vision in your own jungle, because it's extremely dangerous at this point in the game. They have to be very careful right now because Action Static does actually have a lead at this point in the game. They are up by 10k gold. So now finally all of those battles have actually decided somebody who's ahead in this game. So we'll see if they can push that to their advantage. Like I said, the one bit of solace though is they have a few members on Seems Legit Gaming with Baron buff to kind of even it out a bit.
Yeah, if they could actually at this point maybe win a team fight under one of their turrets. Not this turret here. The secondary turret is notorious for being one that's very easy to loop around behind as the hook lands into Shiny. They're not going to be following that up. However, one of their inhibitor turrets is where they could potentially take a team fight, so long as they still have the Baron buff running on a few people. And it's about 3/4 of the way down, so they have a little bit more of a window to go in. And here's Serath, not actually following it up entirely.
Wow, actually Ziani basically used himself as bait there. Pieman finally goes down, 7-1 and 12, but it looks like Action Static actually loses 2 people. It's 2 for 2 so far. Zephyrus has a ton of health and he's using the ultimate. Can they turn this right now? Twitch is still alive, and he's fine. He's in the backline just shredding people. Saskio doing a great job of positioning. This is what we said, the high risk, high reward Twitch. He is right there just shredding everybody. Ziani doesn't die this time, but the rest of his team does instead. They actually had a better team fight the last time when Ziani was the one who just got shredded right away and the rest of his team was allowed to clean up. Ziani there survives, the rest of his team goes in, makes a pick on Kobe, but it actually was kind of the reverse, where Kobe played the role of Ziani and Orianna this time, died, but the rest of his team just stayed in the backline and shredded them and picked up those kills. So this is going to be huge for how much Seems Legit Gaming can actually take while they have these death timers.
Ooh, flash!
Oh no! Ziani goes down! Oh my goodness, what a great play by Zephynescence, and they're going to get even more here. That was huge. Wow, back in base he picks up the Void Staff, but that's going to be kind of a consolation prize as he is now 8-3 and 12. So they're kind of evening out the scores right now. Even though Action Static is so far ahead, you see the scores like the 8-3-12 Orianna, the 7-1-12 Lucian, but really, it's not that big a deal at this point. They might catch out Elite Troll again too. Oh my goodness, there's the Nami wave, but he might go down here. He tries to hippity hop away. Does he have the dots on him? Let's see if he has enough health. There's the Nami heal. Does he have enough regen? Oh my goodness, it's so close. Nami tries to go forward. The Elite Troll does live on Gnar, and he's going to head get back to base and stay safe. That inhibitor is still up, even though it's open. So that last team fight was huge and is keeping Seems Legit Gaming in this game.
Yeah, that's pulling SLG out of the hole a little bit, as we see that Static's going to be heading on down, going for this Dragon pickup. No real reason for them not to. I don't see any way that SLG can steal this away, but they don't really have to. They got those other two turrets, they picked up the Baron, they've gotten themselves pulled back into this game enough that they now have a fighting chance to actually see a victory screen at the end of this.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to try and see if they can get that inhibitor down before Baron comes up here in a couple minutes. Oh my goodness, there's the huge aggressive play from Zephynescence, and Zephynescence actually goes down, gets catapulted in by J4, but Zioni's going to go down, tries to pop the ult, but he dies before he gets it. Is J4 going to be able to kill the Thresh, and he kills the Thresh exactly like last time, 1v4s, gets the Thresh down, so it is a 2-for-2 trade, so there's 3 people on the map, but kind of getting caught out there was Zioni again, unfortunately.
And you know, I was looking down at the builds for a moment here, and something that really surprised me, that jumped out at me a little bit, was the Aurelia's build. The fact that she looks to be going into a Blade of the Ruined King here. It's not a terrible item on Aurelia, it's actually quite a powerful item. Synergizes with her kit quite well, but I'm surprised at the pickup, seeing as there isn't a ton of tankiness on the rest of SLG, so going further into damage when you already have the huge, massive damage coming out from a Twitch and an Ahri, confuses me a little bit, but to be fair, it's sort of been a detour along the path to a Frozen Heart as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to just sit on that Bilgewater Cutlass. I think it's like you said. I think he started building that Blade of the Ruined King and then was like, you know what, I need to just stop right now. Finishes off the Frozen Heart and then picks up a Negatron Cloak on top of that. So I think he is going to just go straight tank for right now and just sit on that Bilgewater for right now. Kind of use that just for the active to kind of keep that carry chase potential to slow down Lucian or Orianna or someone like that and keep on them. But exactly like you said, I would have liked him to just stick with that. The Blade of the Ruined King is kind of like a split-pushing 1v1 kind of Irelia build, which isn't exactly what they need at this point. They need to combat the 5v5 potential of Action Static right now, because they're going to be trying to push down this mid inhibitor. They can't be having someone split push right now, or else they're just going to give that inhibitor for free. Baron spawning in 10 seconds here, sorry.
Unless they can pull off some kind of miracle defense, yeah, they're going to need the Aurelia with them, since top lane was one of the only lanes that was really decisively in favor of SLG, and at this point in the game, even that lead, which was once so powerfully in their favor, has sort of ebbed away from existence.
Yeah, actually, and the later this game goes, the less the gold difference is going to mean, so it's going to be interesting to see who can kind of make a play here. Like, we keep saying that inhibitor turret is down in the mid lane, so there is an open inhibitor for Action Static to take. But let's see if they just go straight for that or try and turn on Baron, try and make a pick, we'll see what kind of their game plan is here. There is a ping going out to try and clear some wards there near the Baron.
Yeah, and speaking of wards, there's actually incredibly little vision here for SLG near this Baron pit, so they're going to be having to give up their red buff and maybe even give up the Baron if they can't get some vision in around there to make sure that they know when it's going to be going down.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got 3 wards set up near near the Dragon River area, which is really not where they need to have those wards at the moment. They really need to have all of their vision set up around their blue side jungle and Baron right there, because if they don't have control over vision, if they don't have vision control over Baron, they're either going to get picked off when they try and check it, which fortunately they do have the Scryer Orb on Twitch, so they can check it without having to go too close. But without those vision wards, it's just going to be kind of a guessing game for them, and they might walk into a team fight.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to rectify the situation. They do have a double Sightstone on their team, so Lee Sin and Thresh can both do a very good job of garnering that ward coverage for themselves. So on the other side, they don't have that double Sightstone build, so they don't have quite as many wards to work with, but they've had a bit better of a time getting the ones that they do have down, since they've had control over this area of the jungle a lot more effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like they're actually going to be trying to make a play, possibly come around and catch them out here. They're sitting on a ward, though, unfortunately. So it looks like Seems Legit Gaming is just going to push down mid here. We do have a pause, so it looks like we have a DC again, possibly. Didn't realize that they were...
A lot more raw AD coming out of the Lucian, which might be in response to the fact that there's not very much armor picked up on the people that he wants to be shooting over on the other side, and that Nami ult is a little bit off.
Here we go with the backwards engage. Looks like the turret will fall with one more auto attack, but no one's attacking it. There we go. Finally it goes down, but the engage here is great for Action Static. Looks like they're trading 2 for 2 right now. Oh my goodness, Twitch is going to go down. He's caught in the back line, so great engage from the back there. Unfortunately, Seems Legit Gaming kind of didn't realize that they were out of position right there. It was a good call to go for the inhibitor turret, which they take down, but it ends up being a 5-for-1 trade. So it's and I really actually just finished her Blade of the Rune King right there when she went back and died, of course. But they're going to try and pull down here and try and take a free inhibitor for this, or maybe just turn on the Baron. Let's see what the call is. It looks like the call might be to Baron. They are going to see it out with wards, but they should be able to take this down with aggro. I guess Lucian doesn't know what he's doing here. They really, if they're going to take this Baron, they need Lucian there. They really shouldn't have done this. Like, I don't know what Lucian was doing exactly. He's trying to get a wave to push, but the thing is he needs to be there for the Baron because Lucian's the one at full health. Lucian's going to be doing most damage to the Baron, and Gorge needs to stay safe. So does Shiny New because this Baron's doing a lot of damage to them.
They do have a good amount of damage coming out of the Baron from neutral as well. When he's in that Mini-Gnar form, he just transformed. But when he was in the Mini-Gnar form, he was doing the percentage chunk damage, which really helps bring it down. So they do manage to secure it before Lee Sin can get there to try and go for another steal. So that's going to be the first Baron and buff of the game, going over to the side of Static there, or the second Baron buff of the game going down entirely, the first one going in their pockets.
Yeah, definitely, and we're gonna see if they can kind of push down mid here, because mid lane is of course open for both teams here. There's no turrets left in mid lane besides the Nexus turrets, so they're gonna have basically a bunch of battles in mid lane. Gnar's teleport is up though, so he's pushing top lane a bit. Seems Legit Gaming is going to be trying to take this dragon for free just based on vision control and timing, or they might just try to make a pick for it. This is actually a really smart idea to try and bait out the dragon. They need to be careful though if Action Static just straight pushes down mid and takes their inhibitor for that, which looks like they're doing it, saying screw dragon, we have Baron buff, we're just going to push down mid, and they have to back. Yes, Seems Legit Gaming has to back. This is a little bit of a blunder on Seems Legit Gaming's part. It was a good idea to try and make a pick near dragon, but they had to realize that they have a Baron buff on the side of Action Static, and they have the huge gold lead at this point in the game with an open inhibitor, so they're happy to just push down mid and force a 5v5 team fight and don't have to deal with the gold from dragon.
Luckily, they do realize their error quickly enough that they can get back to their base in time to defend it, but there's no turret there, and they're down in terms of gold and in terms of buffs being worn, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to pull off an effective team fight, and I think this inhibitor is going to be falling.
Yeah, they're really going to have to rely on good team play, and it's really, to be honest, going to be a lot up to Saskio on Twitch to kind of just have good positioning and stay in the back there, pop his Rat-a-tat ultimate, and shred people with that AoE spray. We'll see, though, if they can actually pull that off, and if they don't have Saskio get dove by the Gnar, the J4, and hey, even the aggressive Pieman on Lucian there. You never know.
And there's J4 starting off the fight, though it kind of ends immediately thereafter with a Lantern pulling Lisa into safety.
They're going to get this turret down, or this inhibitor down for free, rather, and they're just going to back out from this and take that and just be like, you know what, that's fine by me. Let's go to top lane or something like that, guys. We have a wave pushing. And they're going to try and take another inhibitor turret out of this as the super minions will start to spawn in mid lane and push down and really force Seems Legit Gaming to make a decision where they want to defend mid or defend top, and they're going to have to be pretty split. So they can really kind of stall this out. Obviously, the Baron buff is slowly going away, so they don't want to stall too long, but they can be reasonably patient, Action Static that is, on blue side trying to take down this inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they can just swap over to the top lane and they can keep on going with the push here. They don't have the best siege comp. Gnar, having gone full tank, doesn't really have very much damage with those boomerangs. They matter. They toss out a little bit of damage now and then, but there's the ulti coming from Ziani, completely destroying Zephyressence.
Yeah, Ziani using a great job with that Orianna ult, even though it hits one person, he gets the kill. There's the 3-man Cataclysm. J4 gets kicked out, but that 3-man Cataclysm is going to be huge. Thresh gets knocked back, and this is most likely going to be game 3-1 for Action Static. They're just going to say, screw that inhibitor turret, we're going straight for the Nexus, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the surrender unless they just make them finish off this game here. So really good job from Action Static to take out game 3 here. It was again very even, and then there was finally a team fight and an objective take that tipped the scales, and they just kind of snowballed from there with very controlled play. Great job to take that inhibitor for free, rotate around, force the team fight. They got the turret dive and finished off the game to bring the series to 2-1.
Yeah, well played by both teams. Wonderful performance in the middle lane that we saw there coming out from Ziani over on the side of Action Static. Just really well played, Orianna. And it really showed in that match. It was more